My name is Jordan Redfield Wade. By day, I'm a PI working for the NACPD. But by night, my friends, my family, and I fight for the city in a different way. We are the guardians of Newark City. I promised my mother as she lay dying that I would protect and defend this city from anyone that would mean to cause it harm. I am a protector. I am a guardian. I am Red Wing. Episode 12. Nothing left to lose. Time stopped around me, and I started to feel all of what was happening in that moment to me. The world seemed to fade. Everything began to get a little bit gray. Nothing was moving, but I didn't notice at first. The only things I was aware of was that Dean was in my arms. He was still slightly warm. I felt the sting of my tears on my face. There was a chill that was building in my heart. My thoughts were racing through my head. I had failed. I had failed to keep him safe. He was my everything, the love of my life, my entire world. And he was just gone. They just took him from me. This city... But that's all that city's ever done to me, isn't it? I've given this city everything that I have. First, the city takes my parents. Then it takes my second family. It tries to kill me. And then it manages to kill the one person in this world that I love more than anything else. It took all those sleepless nights of me risking my life for people that I knew would never do the same thing for me. And now, it's taken the love of my life. But that's just what this broken piece of shit city does. It takes, and it takes, until you have nothing left to give. And then, it demands that you give a little more.
So, my boy, it appears you've finally seen the light. Finally, you've seen the truth about this city.
Uncle Isaac.
Hello, nephew.
But you're...
Dead? Why, yes. A bomb will do that to you. Still, credit where it's due. That was clever of you.
What are you doing here? What do you want?
Oh, I don't want anything. Death took care of that for me. In death, the fullness of the truth has been returned to me. Jordan, I've been watching you. Since your team unleashed the ancient goddess of slaughter upon the world. I watched what happened. Now, I've come to make amends, and to do something your father could never do. It's time someone told you the truth about your story, and it's time you make your own true choice.
What truth?
You've learned the truth about the city, haven't you? You see that it takes from you until you give it everything you have.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good God, you really are as stubborn as your father. Fortunately, I'm certain you have your mother's wisdom. And that wisdom is what's telling you to listen to me. You recall what I said with my last words on this earth? I told you there would come a time where you would realize you were better than all who dwell in this city. That you, to them, are as powerful as a god, and yet they treat you like you're just expendable to them. The city took your parents. They brainwashed your friends. And finally, they took your husband. My question for you is this, Jordan. Ain't you tired of losing? Ain't you tired of being taken advantage of?
I just want Dean back.
I know that, Jordan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I failed you. If I had had my way, none of this would have happened.
What do you mean? If you'd had your way, the city would be leveled right now.
Oh, I get it now. You still think I'm a monster, a murderer, and a heretic. Well, I think it's time you learned the truth. You know we are bound by blood to protect the power beneath the estate. But that binding goes deeper than that. The power beneath the earth, it demands blood.
It demands... What do you mean it demands blood?
I mean that our family has always known what would happen. We knew the prophecy. When the threat finally came a-knocking, a guardian would have to die to save the world.
No. No.
Your mother and father accepted that someone you loved would die. But I didn't. I couldn't accept that. How could I ever potentially sacrifice my future child? No. I decided I'd find another way. I, with the help of Cassandra, went searching for a way to destroy the power, or barring that, a way to tame death itself. But in order to tame death, we would need power. I found a way to take up all the power beneath our home without dying, and gain the powers of a true god. At the time, I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to record it for the next generation to make the ultimate decision, to let them choose what to do with their birthright. My biggest mistake is that I told your father. Your father wanted you to choose sacrifice, but I wanted you to choose to live. Well, they came up with a plan to make sure that the whole team would agree to my banishment, so I could never touch that power. What I need you to know, Jordan, is that I never touched your mother. I was in the training suite at the time with Cassandra.
How can I possibly know that that's true?
Birdkeeper recorded the date and time of the supposed attack, and also my training record. Here.
Isaac touched my forehead, and I saw the whole thing, including the timestamp. I saw Isaac fighting, and I saw my dad exit the bedroom, look around, and then go back into the bedroom. Then I saw Isaac enter the hallway, and I saw my father come out and shove Isaac into a wall and knock him out. I saw my mother come out and put her hands over her mouth, turning away from the security camera to vomit. It was all too much for me. Stop. That's enough.
Your father lied to her. She called Wilson and asked him for help banishing me. They took my ability to shield myself and move things with my mind. And they forced me to forget even my own name. All because my brother thought I might use that power, so our family wouldn't have to keep dying for a city that couldn't care less about us. Your daddy knew. I was tired of the world taking everything from us. Just like you are now.
But why did you take Jeremy then?
As you know, twins run in our family. That has always been the case. Cassandra had stayed behind during my exile, but as soon as she saw Jeremy's birthmark, Cassandra brought him to me to help remind me who I was. It worked a little, but I didn't remember what my original mission was. I thought, I knew I had to destroy the city. But that didn't go that way. Instead, this toxic city killed me. You see now that this city will destroy you and everyone you love unless you stop it.
How do I do that?
You already know what to do, Jordan. Cassandra gave you all that knowledge. Use it. Oh, and Jordan, I'm going to give you a gift. A way to prove that you've taken up all the power.
A gift?
The ritual to bring your husband back from the dead. It's quite simple, really. All you need is all that power, the tear of a golden dragon, and naturally a human sacrifice to take the life force energy from. You'll know what to do from there.
Uncle Isaac?
Yes, Jordan.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for killing you.
It's time for you to decide your own destiny. Now, go out there and make me proud, Jordan.
The world came back into focus. I stopped sniffling, but was still breathing pretty heavily. I slowly picked up Dean. Amari stood forward.
Jordan, let's take him home. To Cousin Morgan.
You will do no such thing.
But, Jordan, we...
I said you will do no such thing. That is a command from me, your new king. Will you disobey me?
No. Sire, Jordan, your eyes, they are black.
I command you and the other warriors to return to Castle Morgan now.
But, sir...
Amari, I'm sure I don't have to remind you that I am the only one in possession of a weapon that can kill each and every last one of you warriors with just a single snap of my fingertips. I'm holding my husband's corpse in my arm right now. Do you really want to find out how little I give a shit about any of you at this moment? I said, go home now. Amari and the other warriors backed away. They obeyed my command, and they left. Don't worry, Dean. I'm gonna get you back, baby.
Jordan, he's gone.
There's nothing we can do, cousin.
You two shut up. What would you know about it? You don't know what you're talking about. There is something I can do. I can bring him back to life.
That's not possible.
We can't bring back the dead.
Brother, what are you saying? All of you stood here, and you let Dean die. As far as I'm concerned, none of you are my family. You can all rot, and this city can burn. I will get Dean back, and none of you will be able to stop me.
We need to stop him before he does something Ah!
Kieran, buddy, what's going on?
The spirits just spoke to me. We need to get to Jordan Otherwise, he might doom us all.
I reappeared in the circular front room of the Redfield Wade estate. We were standing in the center of a tiled floor that was shaped to resemble a raven with its wings outspread. I touched my face, and I felt my nose bleeding. That teleporting had taken a lot out of me. And that's when I realized exactly what I had to do. Dean, hold on. I'm gonna save you, my love. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. I knew what all the pieces were that I had to gather. I needed the tears from a dragon. I knew that as soon as Dean had died, Clover the dragon had taken off in our direction. I had no doubt that with his strong dragon wings, he'd reach us in just a few minutes. I knelt down and kissed Dean's lips. They were still warm, but they didn't respond to me. I bristled with rage and determination. I picked up my fallen husband, and I carried him out onto the front lawn. The city was silent. It was about 1 a.m. I placed his body on the ground and I teleported away. I reappeared behind the bars of a cell, looking at the inmate that was in the cell. That prisoner looked up at me with a hint of confusion.
How did you get in here?
That is none of your concern.
What do you want?
That is also none of your concern.
What's going on?
I'm bringing him back. I grabbed his arm, and I teleported him back to the Redfield Wade estate. He took one look at Dean's dead body, and then he looked at me, raising an eyebrow.
What is this?
That is my husband, Dean. He just saved the world. And now, I'm going to save him.
Is he dead?
Yes, he is. For now. Good. Not much longer at all.
What the hell was that? Is that a fucking dragon?
Silence. Nick fell silent. It probably had to do with the duct tape that I'd just summoned to cover his mouth and to bind his legs and arms. Clover came in for a landing. I was convinced Nick would shit himself, but he did not. Figures, you'd have to be a psychopath to not freak out about a sudden dragon appearance. He wasn't, however, expecting Clover to speak. And that's when his eyes went wide with fear.
What happened, Master Boy?
I'm sorry to tell you, Clover. He was killed by... You know what? Who he was killed by is not important right now. But I do need your help.
Clover sad. Clover very sad.
Yes, I know, Clover. I need your tears. I can save him, but I need the tears of a dragon. Please, will you help?
Clover give. Bring Master Boy back.
I will, Clover. I promise. Clover's head knelt down toward my cupped hands. His tears splashed into my hands, just a few large drops. That was all I needed. I used the tear to anoint Dean's hands, feet, head, lips, and heart. I looked back at Clover, and I hugged his head and snout and placed a kiss between his eyes. Thank you, Clover. Sit tight for just a few minutes. I'm just about to bring him back. I heard motorcycles approaching. I had to begin before they could stop me. I shot the roots that I used to charge all the way into the ground, reaching all the way to the center of the large pool of energy beneath my home. This time, however, I didn't just fill myself up. I absorbed all of it. The largest quantity I possibly could. I took all of it into me. I commanded the roots to take all of it. You see, the spell that Uncle Isaac was going to do that day, the day he tried to take out half the city, was just a regular old charging spell. The difference between Isaac and me is that while my uncle wanted to be a god king, I actually at least was half a god. And now, I was a king. And I am the true owner of the land on which I stand, giving me a claim to this well of magic. To take this amount of energy into me was painful, to say the least, but when I tell you that I entirely didn't care, I truly and honestly mean that. I didn't even notice the pain. I felt something in me change with the amount of power flowing into me. Kieran pulled up. I opened my eyes. He was just beyond the gate. I pointed my fingers at the gate in front of him, forcing it to close. And then I waggled my fingers at him dismissively.
Jordan! Stop!
Now, Kieran. Don't interrupt me.
Jordan, you can't do this!
You are in no position to tell me what to do. You have no authority over me.
If you do this, there is no coming back from it, and you just might doom the entire world.
Do I look like I care, Kieran? Because I assure you, I 1000% do not give a flying fuck. This world doesn't just get to take whatever it wants from me. I will not allow it. Now, quiet down. Kieran was silent. I walked over to Nick, and I pulled the duct tape from his face roughly.
What are you gonna do to me?
This ritual I'm about to do is pretty simple. If you wish to bring someone back from the dead, you must send someone to the grave in their place. So, rather than actually use any normal person to be my victim, I'm gonna use you. This is for everyone that you have ever killed. You've forfeited your right to any sort of mercy. And now, I sentence you to death. I put my hand on Nick's chest and held my other hand over Dean's body. Nick started to scream, but quickly stopped as he began to breathe his last few breaths. His eyes rolled back into his head, and his skin went gray. I felt his life energy flow into me. It burned a little bit, I felt. I moved my hand from over top of him and put my hands, both hands, over top of Dean. I felt the energy go through my hands and into Dean's body, but he still didn't move. I knew that there was something that would be needed. I chuckled. It was almost poetic. I bent down and I kissed Dean on the lips. Through my lips, I tried to push a little bit of my own life force into him, along with just a little bit of breath. I felt a shockwave emanate from around us. His lips were warm, but this time, they responded. Dean slowly opened his eyes, and even more slowly he sat up.
Jordan?
Welcome back, Dean.
But how... Wait. Is that... Oh my god. That's Nick Dunn. And he's dead. Jordan, what have you done?
I couldn't let them take you, so I did what I had to do.
You killed him.
I exchanged him for you. You are worth far more than he is. He is a murderer, responsible for so much death and destruction. I took his life, and I gave it to someone who mattered. And someone who is capable of doing good in the world. I did this for you.
Oh, Jordan, you don't know what you've just done.
Then tell me.
You just doomed us all. Now they're going to be coming to get us.
I don't care what's coming. Whatever's coming, whoever it is, we'll face them, and we'll face them together.
Okay.
I leaned in to kiss him. He kissed me back. Now, what do you say we take that honeymoon? I kissed him again, and I snapped my fingers. Light and magic shone all around us, as bright as the sun for a moment. Kieran looked away and covered his eyes. When he'd opened them again, he gasped. The mansion was gone, leaving only a fence around a giant, empty crater.
What the fuck just happened?
Thank you so much for listening to episode 12 of season 2 of Red Wing. This week you heard JV Hampton-VanSant, Skyler Perrin, Jordan Cobb, Brittany Nicholson, Arthur Tisseront, Zane Sexton, Elie Hirshman, and Marcus Waterman as Isaac. Episode art this week from C.M. Donovan. The episode title for this week comes from the Pretty Reckless song, Nothing Left to Lose. Be sure to leave a review on iTunes, and also reach out to us on social media and let us know what you thought. For now, Red Wing will be going on hiatus. If you'd like to keep up to date with all of the upcoming projects in the general Red Wing Earth 317 Productions universe, then follow us on Twitter at RedWingPod. You can also check the show notes where we have links to relevant things, so just go look there. You can also check out our website and find other information there. Red Wing is truly a project that I love more than almost anything else, and I greatly appreciate all of the support that people have given as far as working on this show, promoting this show, and all of that. So from the bottom of my heart and the rest of the cast and crew, thank you for listening. Stay safe and fly high, heroes. We'll see you in a few months. Farewell.